I have 3 children, and they are 11, 8 and 6. Okay. And my opinion is that, no, I don't think that they should be allowed social media accounts.
And obviously your children are younger than yours,
yes,
Dipti.
yeah.
Dipti, how old are your children?
Mine are 14 and 15.
And you're absolutely fine with them being on social... How long have they been on social media?
They've been on social media since they were about 12 years old, since they've had their own personal devices.
Mm-hmm. And what concerns do you have, Lisa?
From my point of view, I just, first of all, should say that actually I love social media.
OK.
For what I do...
Hold up a minute.
I love it. For what I do, I think it's absolutely brilliant, but I'm a 39-year-old woman.
OK.
So, you know, from the point of view of my 11-year-old child, I think it's very different what perhaps he is able to see and accept. It's completely different to what I would view.
Yeah.
You know, I think social media can be very extreme. It can be quite violent. Obviously, it can be very sexualised. And I can take that with a pinch of salt. I'm not so sure my 11-year-old child could.
OK, then. And what's your view on this?
So I believe in educating. You know, the world we're living in is a digital age. We can't escape from it. We're kind of bombarded with digital media all over the place.
Yeah.
Social media is one of those places. So my view is, especially because I'm a hypnotherapist, I understand how the brain works. I wanted my children from a very early age to learn resilience and to learn strategies on how to cope with this amount of digital information that's being thrown at them. So social media is one of those places that I can easily teach that message to. So that's why I'm really, really of the opinion that, you know, I can't mollycoddle them, I can't hide it from them. Eventually they will, you know, get it somewhere and somehow. So how can I teach them and educate them to be resilient and to be aware of the dangers?
OK, so you're saying this is about educating.
Definitely.
And how do you do that? You just sit them down and...
So, well, actually, it will come up with the fact that they're allowed on it.
Yeah.
Encourages them to ask me questions, and it encourages them to open that conversation. And because we have a very open relationship, we are able to have those dinner table conversations, and that, to me, is educating in the home, as well as using the example.
I totally,
in that way.
you know, get that side of it, you know, educating kids to be safe online as well. We should say as well, Facebook, Twitter, all the major social media sites, you do have to be 13, obviously, to have an online profile.
Yeah.
I will hold my hands up and say sort of around, I remember there was websites you had to be 16 when I was a child, before Facebook and stuff like that. I was about 14. It's very easy to change your date of birth and stuff like that. That could be policed a lot better. Every parent's worst nightmare is to find out that someone is speaking to their child online who shouldn't be. Every worst nightmare, God forbid. But a big thing, especially at the moment as well, is body image.
Yeah.
All of these airbrushing apps and artificial photos that are going online. What's your views on that, Lisa?
So again, I think because of the age that my children are, it is quite different to, you know, the age that Dipti's children are, but I'm just thinking about how intuitive social media is. So, for example, on my own Instagram, because of the people that I maybe follow and the things that they like appears on my search.
Suggested.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so that's we have the same discussions with our children, actually, about this is the reason as to why I don't want you to go on it.
Yeah.
So we also do educate them about our decisions as parents, and they really respect that, I have to say, thankfully. But it's what other people might be looking at, and therefore what might come up on my oldest son's search. I'm not comfortable with that.
No, I understand. I've got an 11-year-old daughter, and I cannot tell you, she has been campaigning all this year. She wants to be on social media.
Mum, got a phone, Mum, got a phone,
yeah,
Mum,
she's got to have a phone. Everybody else in her class has a phone. And I didn't get a phone till I was 17. Maybe I'm, you know, a bit of a granny about it. And I also want them to appreciate it and interact on a normal level. I want them to do crafts, painting, and not get stuck on that, you know. So where's that line between joining in, because let's face it, if we don't join in, the world moves on.
And in all fairness, you saying that as well, a lot of kids now feel a lot of pressure to be on Instagram, these social websites, because all of their friends are, and if you're not, you can be the odd one out.
I do, but from my point of view and my husband's point of view, I think actually that teaches our children quite an interesting lesson.
Yeah.
That by not necessarily going with the crowd, it's actually okay. It's okay for you to have your own opinion and for you to not necessarily follow what all of your friends are doing. There will be a time for that, and it will come,
but just not yet.
Right, Dipti, do you not worry about, the horrible word is paedophiles, and, how do you really school them? Of course, you've talked about open and honesty, absolutely, but, they're children. They don't know, they don't have that life experience.
Do you look through?
Yeah, how do you do it? How do you monitor it?
So I don't actually police them in that way. I really just believe in talking to them and educating them.
Okay.
And also looking at the positives of social media.
Okay.
So the networking, the communication, the sharing. So there is a lot of positives in social media and networking that we can kind of focus on.
Yeah.
So like the world, it's going to have a negative filter and a positive filter. So my job is all about, like, OK, let's not dwell on the negative. We know it's there, but let's kind of move it forward and see what we can kind of get out of this. How can we use this in a constructive and positive and productive way?